Hello, James here. Hope you're doing well. I haven't did a video on this guy in a long time, and someone decided to do some interesting outtake on. It's amazing what I believe is AI generated, but you, the Pan Africanist, Umar Johnson. So, so much sure you like. There's the snow bunnies. I mean, oh, it goes snow bunny. I don't know whoever did this, but this is about to lead into about the video I'm about to show you. But um, I'm about to show you this video, and oh boy! All right then. You probably saying, "Well, who is it?" Some people like, "Who is this guy?" Well, it's supposed. Hold on. I'm gonna. Everybody know this guy. He been all over the internet. So.
All right. Welcome back. We got another reaction from Mr. Dr. Umar. Again! I know y'all just loved me the first time around. Oh my God. I think the algorithm on YouTube tapped into Umar's fan base, and his supporters were none too excited to see my video about how people should date who they love and how they shouldn't have anything to do with who you fall in love with. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know what? I want to go over some of those comments later because those were so funny. Me and my friends had the biggest laugh about that. We were literally just sitting there reading them, and we were having the best time. So I don't know. Maybe we can have a good time again. But I found another video where he's talking about interracial dating, and I want to just go over a few things with you guys. I want to hear some opinions. Okay? Even if you hate me, I want you to leave a comment. Okay? Tell me how you really feel about me. Okay? And I just want to preface, guys, I'm not mixed with white. Okay? My dad's from Iran. I'm half Persian. Okay? My mom's black, okay? Half black, half Persian. No white in there, okay? So, not sure what those comments were, but I love it. Either way it goes. Y'all will find out I'm a really good sport about this type of stuff. So, anyway, without further ado, let's get to this next video. He was on a podcast, the Talking Trophies podcast, and shouts out to those boys over there. I want to see what he's saying about interracial dating on here. I scroll right up to the point where it says the year of the snow bunny crisis, and it sounds very interesting. I scroll right up to that chapter. I'm going to do a blind reaction for it. So without further ado, let's see what Umar has to say on this.
Brothers, we've got a couple West African brothers getting into that phone. We're still waiting for the Eritrean. That's not us. Okay. We're more into the running and the bike riding. You know what I'm talking about.
I got you.
But 2024 has been the year of snow bunny hopping, Dr. Umar.
There it is.
What is going on?
What is going on?
Okay, 4 points to the snow bunny crisis. Point number 1. Black men date white women because they need validation as men.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, can we... Yo, I thought when he said bullet points, I thought he was gonna name like fact-based statistics or something like concrete or something heavy that we could latch on to and say, okay, this is a real problem. What? Omar, what? Why would I need validation? This makes no sense. Why would I need validation from white men if I'm dating white? That makes no sense at all, okay? And I know this is kind of sanctified to white, but you guys got to realize Umar calls every woman a snow bunny if she's not black, okay? So this goes for every race of woman besides black women. But how does this correlate, okay? You know what? Let me give Mr. Umar a chance to explain. Maybe he's about to explain what he's about to say. Let's go. I am curious. All right, let me minimize this so you guys can see.
Number one. Number two, black men feel black women are inferior to white women, so they date white women.
Okay, so he didn't even explain his first point. Okay, number one, first point, straight bull. What proves that? What justification do you have to even say that, man? That's such a nasty thing to say about your fellow brothers that may have just fallen in love with somebody of the Caucasian race. What in the hell is that? Like, I know you guys are fans, okay? I know you guys are fans of Umar. And honestly, I'm a fan of Umar too. Umar is a great guy. He's a gifted speaker, okay? And I listen to a lot of his stuff about pro-black stuff. But his take on relationships is crazy, guys. You gotta admit that. You gotta admit it, okay? And it's not because I'm half black that I'm saying this. But you should love who you want to love, man. No matter what. That makes no sense. How does that correlate with some type of inferiority to the opposite race? But let's go ahead and continue. And the second point, complete bull crap. Come on. I'm not saying that some guys that are in the black race that date only white women, I'm not saying some of them don't suffer from inferiority complexes, because sure, some of them do. But guys, this is not a one size fits all, guys. This is not a one size fits all. There's black guys that date black women that still suffer from inferiority complexes. What does who you decide to date have to do with an inferiority or some type of validation that you're trying to prove to the white man? This makes no sense, guys. I know y'all have watched 1 million Umar videos and y'all are diehard Umar fans. But if y'all really believe logic in this, I really feel sorry for y'all, like for real. Like this is like some grand rising like bull crap, and y'all know that shit. Y'all know it. Alright, let's continue. Crazy. Let me minimize this. This is completely nuts. I can't believe y'all I can't believe this is serious.
And if you feel black women are inferior to white women, then you automatically admitting you feel inferior to white men. Every bunny hopper has an inferiority complex. Save none. They all have. Number three.
Okay. Inferiority complex because you're choosing to date outside your race is completely nuts. I will agree on one thing that Umar has said, and this is not even a full agreement on this, but if you don't date your own race and you do nothing but speak negative things about your own race, that is a form of self-hate in a way. I will agree to that. That is a form of self-hate in a way. I've dated outside my race, but I won't speak negatively about black women. Now, I don't not date black women, but I do date outside my race.
Dr. Umar Johnson may have pulled off the smartest scam I've ever seen. He's a controversial figure in the black community, often bashing Obama.
So, it's like, I kind of see one of the viewpoints he's saying, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. And what Umar is doing is saying, if you choose to date outside your race for any reason, you are a traitor to black liberation. I don't see how in the hell that correlates. But you're a traitor to black liberation, you're a traitor to your people, and you're a traitor to black economics if you choose to marry outside your race, which is just completely nuts.
Save none. They all have. Number three. Interracial marriage is economic betrayal and sabotage, because when you invest in that snow bunny, you're taking wealth.
Is it on the male side and the female side?
Both sides. Both sides. But it's worse with us.
Okay.
We bunny hop way more than the sisters do. You understand? And a lot of times the sister...
Okay, let me address this. He says, we bunny hop more than the sisters do. Okay, if you look at statistical data, men in general date outside their race more than the women of any race. That means white men date outside their race more than white women. Black men date outside their race more than black women. Excuse me, black men date outside their race more than black women. And so on and so forth with Hispanic and Asian. Guys, this is a statistical anomaly. This is straightforward. This has no inclusion of only black people with this. So when Dr. Umar says this, yes, he is correct, but it's across the board for everything. have the full context of something before you take it as a full representation of.
I want to show a couple videos and I'll get back to this video.
LeBron and even Oprah.
Barack Obama was a flunky, he was a functionary, he was a stool pigeon, and he was a puppet, and yes, he was a coon. Barack Obama did absolutely nothing to benefit Africa. He did absolutely nothing to benefit African people. So Oprah and LeBron, don't give them $250 for no white school. Put it in their hands.
And he defends Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, the most significant black male actor and comedian of all time. When all the crusty snow bunnies came out against him a couple years ago, you said nothing.
He's got 1 million followers on Instagram and over 200,000 on Twitter. His beliefs are outlandish and many would say outdated. He's against interracial marriage and still believes he can cure a certain type of people, but he's not short on conviction. He stated his grand vision to build a school for black children over a decade ago and still hasn't opened it. Many people are calling him a scammer, but others keep donating to him. I dug deep to get the full story. Let's dive in.
Brothers and sisters, I am happy and elated to report to you today that we have found the location for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan-African Excellence.
Dr. Umar Johnson, whose birth name is Jermaine Shoemake, legally changed his name to Umar Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson, presumably to sound more African. As he calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism, the worldwide movement to unite all ancestral Africans and eliminate colonization and white supremacy. He claims to be a direct descendant of Frederick Douglass, to which the Douglass family responded, "That is cap." He travels across the country giving speeches in support of this message, and he's quite the captivating speaker.
Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess the faith of freedom but deprecate agitation are like men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want the rain but can't stand the thunder or the lightning. They want the ocean but they're scared of the awful roar of the waves.
He is a doctor of psychology, or is he? He claims to have graduated from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, but an investigation from the root turned up some fishy things. We could not find any evidence that Johnson graduated from PCOM. 99% of students who received a doctorate from PCOM have their dissertation available online, but Johnson's is not. PCOM also posts videos of its graduation ceremonies online, except someone has submitted a copyright infringement claim only for the graduation ceremony that took place in the year Umar Johnson supposedly graduated. I'm getting Catch Me If You Can vibes here, but I haven't seen definitive proof either way. And if his degree isn't fake, then his school certainly is. Or is it? In 2014, he announced his mission to build a school for black children.
I hope to make the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for African Children. I implore you, I beg you, I summon you, and I petition you to donate to this cause.
Let's see what has happened since.
So far, we raised $250,000, and Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to build a state-of-the-art school for black boys that y'all all know I need.
In 2015, he actually raised over $400,000 on GoFundMe for the academy, and then he claimed that PayPal sabotaged him.
PayPal sabotages y'all. The Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy is a school that I conceived of a very long time ago, but began to actually put teeth into the creation of that school a couple of years ago.
How will my academy be able to sustain itself the same way private schools all across America sustain themselves? I mean, there's no secret to how you do that. You fundraise, you have tuition, you also float endowment.
I'm skeptical his school is being built, let alone has the funding to actually sustain itself. Much like in business, you need sales and revenue to sustain yourself. To do that, you need to be in direct communication with your customers. And today, I partnered with Nextiva, the sponsor of this video, because it is one of the absolute easiest ways to organize all of the communications in your company and make more money off relationships. Business is and always will be a relationship game. As they say, nothing happens until someone sells something. And with Nextiva, you can manage all of your sales and customer conversations in one place, and you can create phone numbers in different area codes. So if you're dialing for deals, Nextiva will help you get more answers and close more deals. I have someone calling property owners right now trying to find real estate deals, and we don't want to use his personal phone or number, so we set him up with Nextiva. He's actually been able to get more answers because his area code matches where he's calling. Nextiva lets you create new phone numbers, gives you unlimited calling, texting, and an auto attendant that you can run from your phone or computer. Your team will be able to make and receive calls reliably with crystal clear call quality. You'll worry less about missing important calls or frustrating customers due to poor connections. You get all this inside of one app. No longer will your team have to switch between 18 different apps to get the job done. Nextiva is built with scalability in mind. Their flexible plans are designed to grow with your business. It's easy to add new users, and their pricing is transparent. Close more deals, take advantage of AI, and make your business more efficient today. Go to trynextiva.com/Spencer Cornelia or use the link down below in the description to get up to 20% off your plan.
And Atlanta was a finalist city for the first Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
So, in 2018, 4 years after he promised he would build a school, he's still scouting locations. This one is in Atlanta. More on that in a minute.
I'm live at the Fred Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, your academy, our academy. Get the donations in, it's not a game.
In 2019, he promised heaven on earth, whatever that means. I think education is a great thing, but I doubt any middle schooler has ever called math class heaven on earth.
Because this is the month that renovations will commence.
All is well with the HVAC. The HVAC is in Delaware, but it cannot be installed unless the Prince of Pan-Africanism, CEO of FDMG. I need to be present.
Yeah, I'm sure he can't possibly get anyone else to be present for the HVAC guy.
Stop confusing home schools with regular schools. Stop comparing home schools to real schools. This is a real school.
Would anyone building an actual school need to tell people it's a real school? Sounds like he's trying a little too hard to convince people his school is actually being built.
Look at them big, beautiful windows, brothers and sisters. Look at the big, beautiful windows on the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Oh great, 9 years later he finally has windows. Well, at least in 2024 he actually started painting the building.
I want to thank the brothers and sisters who came out this past weekend to Wilmington, Delaware to help us paint the inside of the Marcus Garvey Re-Africanization Academy.
And on March 1st, 2024, Umar did what everyone has waited a decade for. He set an opening date, September 3rd, 2024. Narrator, the school did not open.
Well, the time has come. I have kept my promise, and I will deliver to our young men and their parents, especially our single mother, a school that will be a heaven on earth.
Well, no, Umar, you didn't keep your promise. I gotta hand it to Umar, though. This long con is genius. He'll be leaving breadcrumbs every year for the next 50 years. Anytime someone asks when will the school actually open, he'll continue to reply, soon. Just look at the progress we're making. This week we built the basketball court. Here's how he responds to the haters. Good Garvey Day, Empress. I'm not doing anything about the hate. My work speaks for itself. I've done more to assist and transform the way black parents and children do business with and resist exploitation from the Eurocentric psychological, academic, pharmaceutical, industrial complex on the grassroots level than any black psychologist in history. Let the hate continue. I'm too focused on my divine mission to give it any of my precious energy. Umar is full of excuses too. He blames GoFundMe for removing his account, but it appears this may have been due to his lack of non-profit status that he says he was in the process of applying for. The exact amount of donations he's received is tough to gauge. It's not hard to believe that he's raised several $million in the past decade. And much like that friend who never pays you back, for every delay he's got another excuse. First, it's not enough donations, then real estate issues, then licensing issues, then HVAC, then not enough community commitment, and the list goes on. In a hilarious twist, it appears that someone may have copied his scam exactly. In fact, they have almost the exact same name. I initially thought it was the same school, until I saw Umar saying it wasn't. Good Garvey Day, brothers and sisters, please be aware that FDMGA.com is in no way affiliated with the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy. The official FDMG Academy does not operate a website at this time. My team is investigating this website. Umar School is called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy. This school is called the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. It's only missing the word leadership. You can't make this stuff up. And out of all the footage I watched of Dr. Umar talking about his school, I never once heard him mention the word leadership when referencing the school's name. So the school website offers a couple Swahili lessons on its homepage and says you can enroll in online classes until the physical school is built in Atlanta. Wait a minute, Umar talked about opening a school in Atlanta.
I was about 2 seconds away from purchasing a school in Atlanta.
This coincidence seems a little fishy, and there's no info anywhere on this website about who runs it, just a contact number. My search for the contact number came up empty, the domain info is hidden. Then I realized that the Swahili lesson on the homepage is hosted by Vimeo. So I clicked over to Vimeo and found a new clue, the Fred Hampton Gun Club. So then I clicked over to the website and what do you know?
Decent Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde. Make sure y'all support the Fred Hampton Gun Club. Make sure you donate to the Fred Hampton Gun Club. Make sure you join the Fred Hampton Gun Club.
And this is what we call getting caught in 4K. So he lied about his team investigating the website. He either runs it himself or his buddies decided to get in on the action too. So is Umar Johnson a scammer? Well, much like Schrodinger's cat experiment, you won't know until you open the box. In other words, until he does or doesn't open the school, we can't definitively say what.
If you're paying over $150 a month in car insurance, you could be paying just $29 a month for the same coverage. How might you ask? It's super simple. Click on the link below, enter your zip code, tell us some basic info, and you'll get the cheapest car insurance rates. And
in order for me to take my phone and open up my camera and tell y'all that I'm sick of somebody, I stand on that. Understand that I'm not a hater by a long shot. Understand that I don't need to bash anybody. I don't need to bash anybody. I'm not biased. But when I tell you with everything in me, I'm so sick of Dr. Umar's manipulation tactics. I'm so sick of it. I am so sick of him using the black struggle, okay, to profit off our pain and struggle. I'm so fucking sick of it.
This is the first black woman that I've actually seen say anything like that. I'm amazed.
So sick of you guys not asking Dr. Umar the necessary questions that you need to ask Dr. Umar. Because he's supposed to be a stand-up black man. And he's supposed to be a father. Do you really think that it's coincidental that he don't ever talk about his children? We don't ever see examples from Dr. Umar of how to be a decent father. He just doing all this talking to y'all and y'all going along with it because he's an excellent speaker.
That's a fair assessment. The Bible says, and I have to speak from a Christian's perspective, regardless of whether you like me or not, the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. And so a lot of people can get mad at me for what it is that I say, but in reality, it's all rooted in love and truth because my life is a reflection of the thing that I advocate for. I have been married for 20 years. I do not have any children out of wedlock. I do not cheat, and I've never been caught up in any scandal. I've never done anything wrong. I've never did any bad business, and I'm a reflection of my community because I hire people that look like me, especially women. So when we sit here and we say who should be the leaders of the community, not saying that I should be, but if we have a platform, then I think that more importantly, just like when we talk about these preachers and these teachers on these pulpits, you have to hold them accountable, or at the very least, look at their fruits. So anybody can say a bunch of stuff, but the reality is she's absolutely right. So far, I haven't seen the whole video. So far, you should use your own situation as an example of how people are supposed to live instead of holding people accountable based off of what you think that they're saying. That's fair. I don't see what the problem is with that.
To where he can grasp the attention of an entire crowd, okay? Because he tells black folks what they want to hear. Because he profits off our struggle and pain, especially pondering to black women.
The real culture vulture. I'm glad that black women are finally, after 15, 20 years, starting to wake up. 20 plus years. I think the first time that we discovered Dr. Umar Johnson was in 2004.
He knows that black women don't feel protected in this country, that we are the last herd, that we are not provided for. So he uses that struggle to profit off that. But let me tell y'all something, sisters, before y'all come up all up under my post telling me that I'm bashing another black man. Why doesn't this man have a wife? Why? Why doesn't he talk about his children? Why? Why is he always talking about cookies here and there? Why is that? Why? Let me explain to y'all something, okay?
No, we're not gonna skip over that. We're not gonna skip over that. How can we keep calling women queens and all of this stuff when allegedly he has baby mamas, children, and he is not married, but he keep holding other people accountable for not only getting married and talking to women outside of their race, but where's your queen? I mean, listen, we're not going to forget about that fraud-ass marriage that he did a few years ago where he had allegedly 2 wives. Come on, man. Come on, listen. We We need to demand more from the leaders instead of
tell a BW that all black men are no good for nothing type brothers for her to turn her back against her own men? Sir, that is an insult to every black man's intelligence who decided to be with a non-black woman and marry her and be with her. Are you trying to tell me that black men are so weak to the point that it only takes a white woman for them to manipulate them? Like the black man doesn't have the ability to think and judge for himself? Or could it be the fact that some BWs reject their own men, talk trash about their own men to the point that black men are sick and tired of trying and rather turn to women who are not black? I mean, Dr. Umar always talks about cookies and cinnamon buns, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, some men are over dating women just because of their looks. So they do actually turn to women who have uncooked or less cooked cinnamon buns, who are a flat back but have a peaceful aura. Women who are a flat back but have, a feminine energy, who are respectful. So men actually turn to these women instead of dating a woman who has well done cinnamon buns but a bad attitude.
How you gonna make her turn you against the black man and all she do is take your man? The same man she told you was no good, she up there baking those white ice cookies for him. That pink Brunati be right up in the air with that flat ass of hers.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, Dr. Umar.
First of all, shout out to CGA, the king of content. Sir, what would we be in these YouTube streets without you guiding us through them? And here's the thing that I want to say. Imagine you are walking down the street with your child, and then you come across this man who is standing on the side of the street with his phone in his hand talking about pink punanis and uncooked cinnamon buns and evil white women. I mean, that's just insane. But I'm going to say this. If women have the intention to shit on somebody online, to talk trash, to drag them online, they will gather up and do it collectively. They would make it their daily routine and their mission to drag a person down. Why would I know? They tried it with me. But here's the thing about it. I scroll the internet. I do not come across a video of a white woman who was on a podcast with a BW talking bad about black men. Send me a link if you have one of those clips. Instead of pooping on a black man, I've come across a lot of videos by white women who say this.
Hey, black men. I've been doing some research and I found quite a bit of women out there that are doing kind of the same thing that I'm doing, just saying really positive things to black men. A lot of them are black women. There's white women as well. So what I'm doing is not new. I actually got this idea from somebody else that I saw doing it that I thought kind of sucked and was like really trashy about it, and I knew that I could do it better. Because I'm truly being authentic when I say that I want to encourage and uplift and support. I am not trying to patronize you. I'm not trying to fetishize. I'm not trying to pander. I'm not doing any of those things.
Exactly. There are a lot of black women all over the internet encouraging and empowering black men. And if there's anyone that is talking trash about their own men, it would be some BWs themselves. We as non-black women wouldn't even have the audacity or a reason to talk down on anyone. No one. Not if it's a man, not if it's a woman.
I'm a black woman, but I genuinely feel like if you truly want to have a good life and you want to just be well taken care of, you must go and date a man who is not colored in the blackness, or he could be mixed race depending how it is, but some of them have so much complex, it's just annoying to be around those type of men. But not all of them. A lot of them do love, black women and white women and respects them or whatever. But black men specifically have so much complex. They have like this weird color issues. They hate black women, a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I don't know what it is, but I have always been mostly disrespected by black men.
I'm just going to be 1,000% honest. If I were 22 today, I would not be dating black men at all. Unless they were older. They'd have to be real old.
A lot of
of people know I was once addicted to watching adult videos, but what few know is that it started making my friend down there go weak. He began letting me down.
Go get them. I'm gonna pay for that baby type men, okay? Or you want to go on vacation type men. That's what I like. If I was 22 today, I wouldn't date black men. I'm sorry.
See, so again, it's really not us degrading or talking down on black men. It is some BWs, which gives Dr. Umar no reason to sit here and blame the discrepancy between some BWs and black men on non-black women. It's just not fair. It's not true, and it really doesn't solve no problems. The conversation that needs to be held here, I'm going to have to say, needs to be held between some BWs and some black men. And you're going to have to leave us out of there, because you have women like Shira 7 teaching other young women how to look for men who are wealthy, how to, get everything that a man has ever worked for by just simply being pretty. And then you have women from other countries who have been raised to be wives, who have been raised to respect everyone in their family, who have been raised to support whenever, and who has been raised to, be that housewife instead of trying to compete with a man. But overall, I really respect what Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to do for his community by building schools, trying to look for people who will help him to finance building the school so, he can teach young boys instead of them being put into special education classes. So I do applaud you for that, but I don't think it is fair for you to sit here and act like it is our fault that black men decide to date women who don't look like themselves. Because at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to find their happiness wherever it is, whoever it is with. If they're happy, let them be happy. It doesn't matter what they are doing. As long as they don't hurt nobody, let them do whatever they want to do. That's what I think. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much.
Business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com.
Click the link at the top line of the description to get started right now. Don't wait. Next question. Who do you think killed, or what killed the conscious community? Two questions. Do you think it was the scamming that, started at the beginning of the end?
I should get my belt.
and what's your thoughts on Umar Johnson in school, if you've been following that?
Wait, let me get this belt. Because I killed the conscious community. That's how I look at it. I look at it as I killed the conscious community. I killed all of it. And what I mean by that is, the conscious community made their living off of battling the Bible. That's what they made their living off of. And by making their living off of battling the Bible, they had to come in front of everybody that they felt was about the Bible. And I would be at the helm of it. I would be at the forefront of it. So anytime they wanted to battle, they would come in front of me and they would die. And so I would definitely take the credit from now to be biblically sound for all the people that's gonna go crazy. I would say the Most High did it first, and I would say He used me to actually do it. And so that's how I look at it, because nobody is around. So that's how I look at that. Now, as far as Umar Johnson with this school, I mean, how long are we gonna believe that? Unless y'all know some information that I do not know. Every year he says this is the year that we're going to start the school, we're going to open up the school. I actually have brothers in Delaware, and and periodically I say, hey man, go by the school, tell me what's up with it. Is it changed? Is it growing? Is it doing that? I get the same answer. There's nothing. I think Umar should finally just come out and say there is no school. But he can't, because he's going to have to get that money back. That'll destroy his reputation. He gotta have at least one semester. I mean, what has been like 6 years? Right? Don't they gotta have like one semester? Yeah. And I mean, other than that, I don't know what to say. Like it's a failure. And I think that what we should take as black people is the hustle that comes from it.
Because who wouldn't want a black school? That sounds good. And Umar Johnson is another one that's an intelligent brother. He knows how to talk. He knows how to galvanize. And we got to add, he knows how to hustle. And that school is the hustle. Now, I'm one that, you're damn near like, okay, what if he bring out the school? Here's how it was in the beginning, like 5 years ago, whenever it started. I said, well, I don't want to say he ain't going to have the school because this might be the year he got the school. Then I said, well, he said this year, maybe this year. Then it's this year. Like, how long? It's almost like when the building fund for the church, but you never see the building. but they collect. Word is born. Listen, my mother's church. This is how my mother's church used to shame us. They used to put our names, and they used to have like this graph, like how much you gave, and my graph would be all the way down here. Everybody else's graph would be up there. They try to shame you when they giving money. Yeah. And so damn near what Umar's doing is what the church does. He's promising we're gonna have a building, but never get the building, but still is collecting funds for the building. So I think Umar Johnson, we should give a Negro wake-up call to all leaders that are hustling us. And I think Umar Johnson is one that's hustling us. That doesn't take away from whether he's a PhD or not, doesn't take away from if he's intelligent or not, knows about child psychology or not. But as far as that school goes, that's a lie from what we've seen thus far. Now, if he presents some miracle school, then we can say, you know what? Good job, Umar. You persevere. But right now, it looks like bullshit, if I was to say it bluntly. That's what I think about Umar.
I think Umar's a perfect segue into kind of the harsh reality of what we live in now, in particular with media, in particular with hip-hop, in particular with our culture, as it's seen from the outside looking in when it comes to how fake and phony can turn you into a celebrity. Because we laugh and joke about Umar a lot now. At first, we took it kind of like, damn, you ain't got the school for now. He's a bona fide celebrity. He's getting retweeted everywhere. They think he's funny. Oh, he could throw some shit out, and some new people that never heard of him. Oh, that's real because he's articulate as hell. And it just kind of shows the fake and phony world that we live in particular what we see in our social media. What's your thoughts on hip-hop? And I know that's a very broad question. What's your thoughts on
with 35 and 55ers? When I flirt with the queens, that's for 35 and 55ers, okay? If you're not 35 to 55, the flirting is not for your young, thirsty ass. Listen! I need one of my 35 and 55ers to come wipe the sweat off the king.
Again, this is classic Umar, always over-sexualizing women. Always talking about he needs his back massage, he wants you to wipe the sweat off his forehead. Like I said, Umar lives in this delusional fantasy land that he's some type of, Malcolm X, some type of Marcus Garvey. He's delusional. Just like with FDMG, this whole school that's never gonna open. He's absolutely delusional. But I mean, you gotta ask yourself, when have you ever seen a man who
Peace to the Saints. Today's lecture is about Dr. Umar Johnson and not only him as an individual, but him as an archetype, meaning a particular type of figure common.
A principal speak like this. Never in my life.
Donations, gifts, donations, gifts.
And this is exactly what Umar does this all for. Donations and gifts and living off the people. Like I said, this school scam has been going on for 10 plus years. He's literally collecting millions of dollars via his P.O. Box in Delaware, PayPal's, fundraising sites, Cash Apps, millions of dollars. You would think a man who allegedly has 6 degrees will want to put those degrees to work, start a business, actually work a job and earn money, but not Umar. He's been living off the people for 10 plus years, and is honestly, sadly, no signs of slowing down.
I tell you what I'm gonna do.
Before I play this video, I just want you to listen very closely to what Umar talks about how, I'm not going to give it away, but what he talks about, and then I'm going to play the counter, just so you see it. A lot of this bravado you see with Umar online, it's all an act, it's all a character. Like I said, his online persona, and then him in real life,
It's two different people.
Come to my music video with some fake ass hair or some colored hair, I'ma cut the shit off.
Come to his music video with fake hair or color hair and he's cutting it off. Remember he said that.
Oh yes. See, we got the whips for the lashes, but we got the scissors for the sisters who don't know what natural means. Show up at my video shoot with some fake ass hair, some perm, some straightening hair. I'm cutting the shit off. See, y'all don't understand. So I gotta bring out the Ogun in me. The Ogun in me. I'ma just cut it off. I'ma just walk up to you and start cutting your hair off. Okay? Stop imitating the bunny. Hashtag stop imitating the bunny.
So according to Umar, dyeing your hair, wearing fake hair, is imitating the bunny. Remember, Umar always says, snow bunnies never, black queens forever. These is his words, these are his slogans, these are his taglines, not mine.
I'm just gonna cut it off. Show up with some fake locks, I'm cutting them off. Show up with a weave, I'm cutting it off. Show up with a perm, I'm gonna have these scissors at the video shoot.
Alright, now we're going to get into this video really quick, and this is just going to expose how, like I said, Umar is all talk online.
Stop using your home internet. This is the reason why
a particular type of figure common within the struggle of the African American. We're analyzing, is he good, is he bad? What's going on with the school? As you'll notice in the thumbnail photo, I've had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Umar Johnson, and I know him well as I do other figures such as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and other folks who are fairly popular within the African American struggle, Minister Louis Farrakhan and others. We could go down that list another time, but first let's talk about this Dr. Umar Johnson. And the truth is, when you have leaders like Dr. Umar Johnson, I'm going to play a clip so that you can hear him in his own words. You find that, well, is he really inspiring you? Does he really believe in you, or is he deriding you for not giving him more and more of your money when really he's already shown you nearly nothing with what you have given him? So he wants you to trust him with more, even though he's not produced for you. You know, I don't know what kind of businessman that is. That's strange to me. Listen to the brother in his own words. And this is not to deride him. I think he's doing a good job to the best of his ability, but he's just not suited to lead black people out of their current state.
Wow. So it's been 13 months. Wow. Last time you were up here, we were talking about your school and yes. FDMG Academy. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. It's a bittersweet report, brothers, because let me make it real simple so y'all can understand this. We have two schools, right? They look across the street at one another. The Marcus Garvey building is the elementary school, and the Frederick Douglass building is much alone.
Pause. My boy said we have two schools. He said we have two schools. How do you have two schools when in actual fact you have zero schools? A school is an institution that provides education. You have two buildings, my dear boy. Get focused on the truth. You have two buildings, my dear boy. Schools give education. You have two buildings. That's the problem. Inaccuracy, which is akin to lying. Something that I always teach the saints. Be accurate. Speak in numbers when you can. He says we have two schools. No, my dear boy, you have two buildings that are currently inoperable, my dear boy. Shout out to the saint. He writes, I recently picked up the Black Box. Got it yesterday on chapter 7. Can't wait to read the rest. I'll keep you posted, brother. For those who really want to move forward in life, get my book, The Black Box. It is a guide. It tells you the story of an African-American boy who was born to a mother on crack cocaine, a father in prison for selling crack cocaine, raised by a grandmother who had dementia, going to some of the worst schools in the Los Angeles County, and hustled his way all the way up out of that into corporate success as an international businessman, and had to go through a lot of mud on the way there. It's a book of inspiration, a book that will take you through the full range of emotions. Check that out. And I don't say that to sell books to make money, because I've not made my career on book sales. I made my career as a technology executive. I say that so that it may help you.
Larger, it's the high school. Now, if we're focusing on the Garvey building right now, right? If you were to say, how soon can that building be ready? It can be ready in 3 weeks. We only have 3 weeks worth of repairs, 3 weeks worth of HVAC, 3 weeks worth of electric, 3 weeks worth of plumbing. So if, hypothetically speaking, if a black tradesman,
this kills me. This is why you must learn business and operate by business principles. He's talking about hypothetically, which means not in reality. He's saying there are hypothetically 3 weeks worth of repairs. Well, first off, if you don't have the money, it's going to take a lot more than 3 weeks, little buddy. Secondly, businessmen don't speak in terms of hypothetically. I wish I would be talking to my investors. Now, mind you, if you've donated to Dr. Umar Johnson, which I have, full disclosure, I have donated to Dr. Umar Johnson many times. If you've donated, then we're the investor. You don't talk to your investor and say, well, hypothetically, if someone came in and did the work for free, it would be 3 weeks. Well, first off, no one's coming in to do it for free. So we can get that off the table. So we didn't ask you what if, we asked you what is. The problem is so many of these black leaders are dream sellers. They're preachers, sophists, dream sellers, talkers. But you follow them. Oh boy. And I do not fault anyone who donated to Dr. Umar Johnson, because what I did was I said, a black man trying to do something good, let me contribute. Because if this is great, I want to be among the many who put one of these bricks onto the foundation of the black future. But now we see what it is. 5 years later, we see that nothing has happened. Let us now be real, embrace truth. Carrying on, let you hear from Dr. Umar Johnson in his own words.
HVAC said, I'm going to come volunteer. I'm going to fix the system. You have to pay for all of the materials, but I'm going to donate my time. If an electrician, if a plumber said, we're going to donate our time to fix the system, but you have to pay for all the material, the school would be up and running in 3 weeks. That's all we have.
Let me tell you what he's doing right now. This is my favorite thing to point out. He's making excuses. As a man, biggest issue with males today, of all race, of all stripe, is excuses. When you fail, you know what you should say? I've fallen short. I've made mistakes. I want to acknowledge that. Let me tell you what I'm going to start to do, starting today, to fix things or to make progress. That's all we need is, what are you going to do to make progress? Acknowledge your error, but don't start lying and shifting blame. That is not manly to shift blame. We have boys in this society, especially when you're following this guy who purports to be a leader and he's just a big boy. He's the kind of individual to blame the woman. You see? He's going to blame the woman. He's going to be in a relationship and blame the woman. When you're the leader, you don't get to blame anybody. When you're the leader, it's you. It begins and ends with you. You don't get to say, well, if black people donated more money, if black people came in and volunteered as an HVAC, volunteered as a plumber. No, bruh. Just say the truth, which is number one, I've never done this before. I don't have the experience. Number two, I was too arrogant to hire experts and get consultants who could help me do this correctly. Number three, I did not budget appropriately. Number four, I'm not financially savvy, which is why I spent all the cash on owning the buildings rather than taking out a mortgage so that I had short-term liquidity to pay for the repairs to get the school operational so we could then pull in some tuition dollars and create cash flow and then support the teaching staff and all these other things. Let me give you a sad truth that you don't even know, that he is not exposed. If the man doesn't have money to finish the HVAC, then the man surely doesn't have money to pay a teacher, to pay a janitor, to pay a special education person, to pay all of the people who have to operate the school, to pay for the books, to pay for the technology. This is a farce. And let me just let people know right now. Number one, black females are out of control and need to be put back in control. But you know who's really out of control and in a sad state? The black male. Which is why my number one work is with males. Building males into men. And taking men who are already on their square, 10 toes those down and putting them in position among these males who need development so that they can look and see what a man is, inhale them, watch how they operate, listen to how they speak, and learn from them. And that's men of every ethnicity, because even the white man is in disrepair today. And you know that because this country has a female vice president, which is completely inappropriate. And you could tell even when she was debating, she couldn't even control herself.
Oh, I'll leave that for another time. I ain't got no comment on that one. But clearly, as you see, I don't know why people keep supporting Dr. Umar. You see how he's one-sided, he's other-sided. I don't understand why people get mad at people who criticize him. I mean, and it's like, it goes to show you the people that support him don't do no research and really usually and think about this. Why, like he said, why would it take 5 years to get something that you raised all this money for? And I've made videos about this in the past, but now there's a new group of people are pointing this out, and people just don't get it. And the woman is right. Long he keeps selling you these dreams, he gonna keep doing what he's doing. And how's he? Think about it. He probably used all that money to travel across the country and in different parts of the world on your money, which that probably should have went to the school. He probably did that because how else? He don't have a job. He don't work nowhere. He don't do. There's no financial records of him. Personal counsel. All he does is make the same speech wherever he go. And then he makes inaccurate things about things that it may sound like he's selling one thing that he probably seen on the media that might speak some truth. But look at the other things that what he done. No one even has. It's not too many people that have come across, and it's going to come across this video. Some people will see critical thinking. What about his character? Don't match up with who he is. He's all over the place. And if you want someone who's all over the place as a leader and look up as a person, then it's pretty sad. And it's just hilarious, man. I'm over here cracking up. Then he contradict himself. And then he gets on subjects that's really is irrelevant, not in factual anything. So now you have a broader band of what people have been talking about. He makes his own. He makes his own mistake. You don't even have to say anything. There's no point in defending him. I mean, the proof is in the pudding from all sectors, even from outside the sectors. Anybody that somebody say about relationships, he's not in a relationship. How can someone talk about relationship when they never been in a relationship? I mean, it's like me going out there and saying I'm a mechanic and I never worked on a car. What's a module? Then you put. It's almost like that. But a mechanic would know what a fuel module or something like that is. And most people don't even think about this. But they just, I think there's a segment of people, particularly black people, like other people, they live in this fantasy world and they don't understand the reality. You got to come out of fantasy world. And in order to come to the school project, I mean, it don't take that long. It don't take almost a decade, just over a decade, just to put a school together. And no one's making accountability as far as what the last guy said. There's no blueprint, there's no books, there's no other. He's trying to do it all other. So people even ask for all that money that then he flips. He uses reverse psychology on you when you go and ask him for about the money. Where's the money at that we've been lending you all this year? And he's going to keep pumping you up as long as he can give you a little bit of truth and give you a whole bunch of farce. So, and the people, shout out to all these content creators, they're showing you the truth. And it's going to be part 2 on this. And there's more to come. And there's going to be black people, and people are going to still support him, going to him and believe in everything he said. Don't get no second opinion from other black psychiatrists that can back up what he's saying when it comes to dealing with human behavior as far as in your children, in your relationship. You might should get a second opinion. Don't be so flabbergasted because someone speaks. There's a lot of articulate people. See what their character is about. See how their professionalism is about. He can play the professionalism, but at one point he showed another side. He's non-professional. That tells you something right there. His character. His maturity as a man. He's not mature. The saint was right. He's not mature. And his personal life is all online. His character is all online. He's an open book. So you can't say people should mind their own business. Hell, he puts his business online. Everybody, people, everything that goes on the internet is out there. What he done is out there forever. So the people keep donating to him, but hey, donate them. If you gonna really give him that kind of money, give it to someone like our smart content creator like us. We might actually do something with it. All right then, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you this has been an entertaining video. So watch who you support, and don't get caught up with beating down. It comes to the point. Don't look at this black versus black or beating down on a black man. Look at a person's character, what color, regardless of what color they are. Test the character. Don't get caught up with the emotion of color. All right then. Take care. Be blessed. See you on the next video. Like and subscribe. And we'll see what's coming up next. Take care.